From bad over worse. Okay, sick. I'll give you a cheers. I know you don't have anything, but that's all good. We support water, beer, anything you want to drink.
We love our water.
So let's just dive right into it. I'm going to ask you about just kind of your start in the music scene. What got you interested in doing music to begin with and fronting a band?
So, probably going as like far back as being like 4 or 5 years old, I was just like always really interested in music. A lot of what made me realize it could be a possibility as an actual job was my dad was dating this woman named Janice, and she would do like freelance piano work.
Oh, cool.
And she just like really believed in me, and you know, was like telling my dad to like put me in music lessons and stuff like that. And I was just super interested in it. I even have a video of me at like 6 years old, like really terribly singing a One Direction song.
Nice. You got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly. And probably the most like embarrassing arc of all of this was as like a child, probably from the ages of like 8 to 11, I had a huge crush on Justin Bieber, and I was like convinced that I was gonna like tour the world in a band with him.
You never know. You never know. It's not too late.
I guess, but he is married with a baby now, and also not a great person. Like, this was during the bowl cut era.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, a little bit different.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, then, you know, I finally do convince my dad to put me in music lessons, and he kind of like insists that I take guitar. So I start there. I'm essentially just like doing fully guitar stuff. I start doing some like saxophone stuff as well. And then I just get kind of bored with saxophone. And so I kind of like low-key get my teacher to start doing vocal lessons with me instead of saxophone, because I knew I wasn't going to be a saxophone player.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm just kind of like doing vocal lessons on the down low for a few months until my dad finds out. And then, you know, I essentially show him like, hey, this is something that I'm good at, so let me keep doing this. And, you know, eventually I like convince him out of the whole like you need to be a nurse or like a business major or something type thing.
Okay. Was he kind of leaning for you towards that? Like, what did he want you to? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Just like all the time. As a kid, whenever I talk about wanting to be a musician, it was always like, no, you need to do something realistic. You need to be a nurse or a business major, and that were like. They were the only two realistic options in his mind for a long time. And I like very much wanted to impress him. But I also just knew music was what I wanted to do. I just didn't know how to make it something that I could like make a living doing. And then when I turned 15, I play a show at the Rec Room South, and it just felt really nice to, I don't know, I guess just actually get to do something that I love. Being on stage, just kind of like a self-accompanying with my guitar. From there, I end up doing like some restaurant gigs. I played Taste of Edmonton twice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
And then I end up meeting Regan, who is lead guitarist in our band.
Right.
I know him for like roughly year and a half, maybe 2 years.
Okay.
And then we're put in this performance ensemble together for our university classes, and we're just like playing music together like 2-3 times a week, 3 hours per time, for like around 8 months. And I'm like, we should start a band together. We also looped in Shane, who is the bassist in that band. We looped in Quentin, who still works with us in terms of like production and stuff like that, but he was originally gonna do rhythm guitar and also do vocals with me, as in like a double vocalist band.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So A lot of the band has like changed within that, especially even just the fact that like it's not a double vocalist thing anymore.
It did start off like that, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when we first started writing everything, we had just been writing everything almost in the style of like Dance Gavin Dance, where he was doing a lot of the like dirty vocals and like occasionally like harmonies on the cleans. I was taking a lot of the cleans and more of like the high screams, but it was very much like a 50-50 split.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
Yeah. But essentially in working, especially with people like Regan, I think I've just really figured out that like a band is definitely the place I want to be in. I just don't have an interest in like doing solo projects anymore necessarily.
I see. Did you do a solo project before this, or?
Yeah, I have an EP out and a couple singles out on my like personal channels and stuff. The EP was like recorded when I was like 16-ish, so it's very different from what I do now. I've almost heard people describe it as like Radiohead meets Sarah McLachlan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Huh. That's pretty interesting. We just seen a thing, me and Ember were watching a thing with Radiohead the other day on Smallville. That's funny. What a moment. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was something you did before, but you don't currently do that? You're just for Bad Over Worse now?
Yeah, exactly. The most recent like solo project I did was for a song and music video called Jailbait. And it's essentially just about like guys who sexualize teenage girls and stuff. And, you know, calling them, am I allowed to swear?
Mm-hmm.
Calling them pieces of shit. And like, you know, like explaining like the harm it does to like the girls in the situation, and like, you know, asking like, you know, after years have gone by after doing stuff like that, like, do they actually feel guilty for what they did, or does the thought of all that still turn them on?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Interesting. And what made you want to touch on that concept? Just a huge interest around that, how the human mind works, or?
I just had some like really rough experiences when I was in like, you know, the 14 to like 17 age range, and essentially I started writing that song and working on that music video when I got news that a guy that raped me when I was a teenager was getting out of prison.
Oh no.
After, you know, serving less than 2 years in what was essentially summer camp for convicts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was he also a minor, if you don't mind me asking?
No, he was in his 30s.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Wow.
And nothing happened to him because he was careful enough to not have any other criminal record. And, you know, even now, I'm not going to have like any kind of court protections from him starting like next year. So he could move right next to me and I wouldn't be able to do anything about it until he tries to attack me again.
Wow.
So just like being in a public facing kind of job and everything where like he's able to like find out my whereabouts and stuff like that can feel scary a lot of times.
Yeah.
But I think part of kind of what I want to do with my platform is build an audience that he would be fearful to be in the same room of, essentially.
Yeah, okay. Almost like your own cult.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Join
that's
today.
Cool. Yeah. You heard her.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, well, good for you for just being strong enough to continuing on and, you know, not moving cities or, you know, being fearful of it, rather just coming up with a strategy that you think will, you know, prevail. And that's really neat. I think the nice thing about music, which you probably feel the same about, is the voice you can have, you know, the foundation that we are united when we like come together, you know, we don't have to be divided by anything. And unfortunately some people, you know, still stand on the sidelines or are divided or whatever the case might be. But it seems like you have a strong message with your music, and that's cool. I like that.
Yeah. I definitely feel like I really want to stay within like the punks the roots of punk. And like
Just be a rebel your whole life.
exactly.
Okay.
Like, you know, my partner is in like the political sphere and stuff, and I feel like for both of us, we work much better as an opposition than we would be like in an actual powerful setting, because I don't know, at least for me, I just want to stir the shit pot.
Okay. Okay. And is so doing music with Bad Over Worse, do you feel that release that you get to be able to do that?
I'd say so.
Okay. That's cool.
We recently debuted a song called Opium of the Radicalized. It's kind of a play on a Karl Marx quote that is like, religion is the opium of the people, which is like essentially something to like keep you docile and stuff. And it was very inspired by like a lot of the events I've been seeing happen in the US. And essentially just like encouraging people to think for themselves, but in kind of a silly way.
Okay.
Like there's a section of it where it's like, keep the fascists at bay by eating a Baconator on a Friday.
Okay. A Baconator on a Friday, hey?
Yeah. I was like raised around a lot of religion, so it's like in Judaism you're not allowed to have pork with dairy. In Islam you're not allowed to have pork in general, and in Christianity you're not supposed to have any meat other than fish on Fridays. So it's like the ultimate like lay Reddit atheist burger on a Friday, I guess.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So I take it, yeah, you're not any religious
No.
following or background? No? Okay.
I don't have an issue with like people who are religious by any means, and that's not like where I'm going with my music by any means. Whatever people want to believe in, go for it, as long as you're not hurting anyone else. I just don't really believe in like the institutions of religion, because I feel like they can be really exploitative towards people.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. With the music that you guys are releasing, and you have a few songs out now, right?
So we have one that's officially out on all streaming services, and then we have another one that's coming out on May 1st.
Okay. Is that going to be under like an EP then, or an album, or?
Essentially, we have an album that's planned to come out on January 16th, I think it is.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
And these are all just going to be singles kind of like leading up to the release of that album. Part of why it's taking so long to do all of this is, one, like most of our members are in university, so we're just like really busy with classes.
Yeah.
But also we're doing like visualizers and or music videos for every single release.
Nice.
So just like so much of it ends up being like videography work.
Do you guys do that yourself too, or do you have somebody that you work with, or?
So far we've been doing it all ourselves, kind of the same way I was doing it when I was working with like my solo project stuff.
Nice.
Even when it comes to like the single covers and what is now like going to be the album cover and our merch designs and stuff, those are all like photography projects that I did, and did like all the color grading and stuff like that myself. And
Nice.
even ended up having to do like the text and stuff using Canva.
Oh, okay, yeah. So do you know how to work a little bit of the photography and video end side of things?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so.
Okay, fair.
I don't know if you've seen the visualizer for our new song, Pseudo Paramore, yet.
I have not. You have to send it to me.
Yes. Essentially, I just kind of storyboarded all the shots, and then I either filmed it or I had Quentin, who is one of the former members, the other vocalist, film it. And then I just like did all the editing in Final Cut.
Nice. That's cool. I feel like it's a lot of work too. Like video editing is not easy. I stay away from that part. I just do photos.
That's fair.
A lot easier.
It's like, I think it was probably like 2 hours of filming, 6 hours of video editing for a 5-minute video.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. But it probably looks pretty nice.
I hope so.
Yeah. Like I said, you'll have to send it to me.
Yeah.
I'll post actually in the comments for the video aspect of this on YouTube and that. And
Cool.
yeah, hopefully get some people going your way. So do you guys have any? I know we kind of touched base prior to the podcast, but I'm going to ask you again. The shows. You guys got a couple shows coming up. Do you have any tours booked or planned or anything around the release?
So, this coming month for April, we're going to be playing in Red Deer on the 11th for the Ruin Me Daddy tour. I'm pretty sure we're the first opening band, so get there on time. I don't know if this episode will be out by then.
It will be.
Okay, cool.
Yes, it will be.
And then on April 25th, we will be playing a show. I don't think I'm allowed to announce it yet because it hasn't been formally announced, but it's coming. So stay on the lookout. Mark it in your calendar.
Big things coming.
Yes, exactly. The best thing to post. And then we may or may not have a bit of a tour coming in August.
Ooh,
so
cool.
I can't say too much until May 1st. But yeah, essentially we will be going to the middle of buttfuck nowhere for a lot of it.
Nice.
And I think it'll be really cool. Especially just getting to bring our style of music to communities that might not get much of that.
How would you define your style of music? What genre are you guys?
So
I know there's a million of them out there now.
I feel like the ones that we tend to fall into the most are post-hardcore and pop punk.
Okay.
We definitely have big aspects of Riot Girl within our music and even some tech death stuff going on.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is that for the future music?
It's all stuff that's going to be on the album.
Okay.
Pseudo Paramore, for example, is going to be the lightest song on the album, and it's very pop punk feel. It almost reminds me of Mayday Parade, stuff
cool.
that.
Nice.
Our song that's coming out on May 1st is called Phantom Hymn, and that one kind of starts with a Nothing Nowhere vibe, if you know of him, and then transitions to be quite a bit heavier. It's the whininess of Law Dispute, but a bit more serious.
Cool.
I think.
That's a vibe.
Yeah.
Oh my god, some of my friends will love hearing that. Law Dispute. I haven't heard that name drop in a minute. Neat.
It is my favorite thing ever to just break into such small hands whenever anyone mentions Law Dispute.
Nice. Fitting. I remember you guys when I seen you perform. You played Bulls in the Bronx.
Yeah.
That was sick. I was like, yo, I haven't seen a band cover this yet. Let's go.
I absolutely love Pierce the Veil. They've been a huge inspiration for my music. Them and Dance Gavin Dance are probably the biggest ones for my style of writing.
Nice.
And I think that a lot of our music going forward is going to be much more in the post-hardcore math rock type scene.
Nice.
Just because even at our recent show, which was a fundraiser that we did, I had composed a cover of Man-Child by Sabrina Carpenter.
Okay.
Essentially in a swancore style. And
Swancore.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
It's essentially the Dance Gavin Dance stuff. Will Swan is the lead guitarist in that, and there's an entire genre named after him. Essentially, there's Swan Fest. That's similar to Knot Fest for Slipknot.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've been out of it for a while. Swancore. That's cool. That's a new one for me.
Yeah, and it's just so fun to play and write in that style. I just even though it's music that I love to listen to, I don't want to just do the constant chugging and have to wait for a guitar solo for things to get really technical. So, sometimes I give the guitarists in the band panic attacks when I hand them over the sheet music.
Oh, okay,
but they're always talented talented enough that they pull it together.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like having those. Well, I really like those parts of songs. Like I love breakdowns and a good
Yeah.
guitar solo. I've never been the fan of like too many guitar solos in a song, but I get it. I could see where there's a market for anything and everything, especially nowadays. But I was gonna say, do you do a lot of the screaming on your new music too? Cause
Yeah, I do all of the screams.
okay, neat. And what got you inspired to do screaming?
Um,
Was it Pierce the Veil in that?
it wasn't actually. It was In This Moment.
Oh, okay.
For a lot of it.
Nice.
I think that was like the first female screamer that I had heard, and I was like, I didn't realize this was something women could do. Because like so much of the music I'd listened to growing up, like from First to Last, Avenged Sevenfold, then like all the emo bands like Chiatos and stuff. It's always like just the guys screaming, and even if there is like a female feature on a song, usually they're doing cleans, especially in some of the like more like Euro metal that I've listened to, like Semblant. So it just felt really cool to like find a woman in that scene, and I started trying really hard to learn how to do that stuff. And then more recently, I've been really inspired by Vanna, who's like much more similar to the style of screaming that I do.
The Vanna you're referring to is VANA, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not like the old school VANNA. I don't know if you know that band, but
I don't think I do.
okay, that's like a kind of post-hardcore metalcore band.
Oh,
I've heard
cool.
of people mention Vanna. I'm like, oh, like digging and that. They're like, what? I'm like, you're talking about like VANA, aren't you?
Yeah.
I actually don't know too much music from them, but are they kind of like a hardcore band or they post-hardcore?
It's hard. There's like they feel very similar to like Bad Omens.
Oh, okay.
That kind of vibe. But I absolutely just like love what they do with their instrumentals, the screams. Like it's so playful and enticing, and even just like the visual aspects that go along with their songs are just like so cool to watch, because in a lot of ways I feel like the visual aspects of music like are almost just as important. I really love bands that have like that theatrical nature of the showmanship, like Ghost, or like A Fever You Can't Sweat Out era Panic at the Disco.
Yeah, that's cool. Please tell me, for when you reference In This Moment, are you referring to the first 3 records?
I don't know what records a lot of the songs I listen to, because I mostly just like save singles because of like the Spotify era type thing.
Yeah.
But the biggest songs that were inspiring to me were like Whore, Blood,
So all
Sick
songs,
Like Me.
All songs before the records I'm referring to.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I'm just bugging you because everybody references those songs, and I'm like, yo, listen to The Promise, The Gun Show.
I
You should
love The
try that.
Promise.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you know that song. Okay, that's good. Because that album in particular with The Promise on it is like the chef's kiss. So
Yeah.
good. And then the record and their first record before that, in my opinion, I don't know. I feel like I'm like somewhat of an elitist when it comes to music. I'm like, have you listened to their earlier stuff? But that's just because In This Moment has gone through so much sound change. But her dynamic and her voice has always remained the same, and I can appreciate that. She's I could only imagine. Have you ever seen them live?
I have, like,
Okay.
probably 3 times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a big fan.
Yeah.
Cool. And her energy is probably pretty charismatic, eh?
I'd say so. Like,
yeah.
even though she's not the type to be, like, running around on stage or anything like that, it's, like, her presence just, like, draws you in, you know? Like, just such, like, a domineering persona.
Nice. Me and Ember and her friend Lauren were in Toronto a few months ago and seen a band called Atreyu. I don't know if you know that band.
I do, yeah.
But what I really liked about them, and like I haven't had a band do this to me since I've seen like August Burns Red, which was way back in 2015. But anyways, so the banter that the frontman had with the crowd was just so incredible. I was taken away by how well he not only performed and sang all his songs, but just how good he was with everybody and the back and forth and pointing people out and making to me it was a special moment because I've always wanted to see Atreyu, and we went to Toronto to see them because like every big band, they never fucking come to Edmonton, but
True.
yeah, so it was a big moment for me, but just I took a lot from that show because I was like, it's one thing to perform and be a great performer in front of a crowd, but having that banter with the crowd, like even though, so they were the headlining band, so they had a lot of time to play with, but even if you're opening, like if you can find a spot where you could either cut a song or like have a moment where, if you have a lot of quick songs where you could just have a good minute with the crowd, I feel like that's so important. And a lot of what I see nowadays is kind of like, hey, like, here's our new music, go check it out. We're happy to be here, part of the community. But, like, I feel like, for me personally, I hope nobody gets offended by this, but, like, for me personally, the joking and the making something out of nothing with somebody and having that connection and then it, like, spreading within the crowd, I think that could be almost better than the music itself. We're all there for your band, but then when we have that moment with you, it's, like, a lot more personable. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
I don't know, like, for future bands out there, like that for me was like a huge, like, I took that away from that show. I took away the fact that it was Atreyu, they had a great performance, blah blah blah, but like the banter, the back and forth, having a moment with the crowd, I think that's something that's just not really done a lot of. I don't know if it was a thing of the past or whatever. Obviously, I only know what I know, but yeah, it was really cool. So. Yeah, for yourself though, you probably like to do you have a pre-game strategy that you use before a show? Like, anything you do like as a warm-up for your vocals, for performing itself? Like, what do you do behind the scenes?
Okay, yeah. So, leading up to like load in and stuff for a show, usually it's just like 45 minutes of like getting into the stage gear, getting into like my makeup and stuff like that, because I do almost like a mix of classic goth and like drag inspired makeup.
Cool.
For when I'm on stage. I'm not super great at makeup, so it takes a little while, but then I usually try to take like at least 15 minutes between that and like loading everything into the car, where I just kind of like stare at the ceiling and like
Okay. Shake the nerves sort of deal. Okay.
Yeah. And then we get there, do the load in, do sound check, and then usually it's like running the merch table and stuff like that until like 15 minutes before we go on.
Do you do that part? Sorry to interrupt. You
definitely.
do the merch running? Okay, cool.
The way we kind of split it up with my band is like I'm like essentially the band manager, so I'm like doing all the show bookings and social media stuff and everything.
The leader, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But when it comes to just like being in person, I find it really scary to just like go up and talk to people. So like if I'm at the merch stand, it's like they're coming up to me and I can have a conversation with them and not feel like I'm like intruding on them.
Cool.
Whereas like a lot of our other members, like especially Reagan and now John Luke, are like really good at just like going up and talking to people and being like, hey, this is my band.
Yeah.
So it works out really well in that way.
Nice.
And it's also just really cool to get to like meet people who are passionate about what we're doing. But yeah, then if there's a green room, we'll head back there. Usually I'll just like find a chair and like close my eyes and just like hum scales and arpeggios and stuff. So
Smart.
like I'll just kind of be like type thing.
Cool.
For like 10 of those minutes, try to drink some like lukewarm or tea warm water. I really don't like it when like myself or my members have more than like one drink before shows. I just think it's like a really bad habit to get into, and you're also just not on your A game in a lot of cases. So
Do you have a rule of thumb with that? Is like one drink prior is like fine, but
yeah.
we don't want members getting like fucked up before they go on stage.
Yeah, and that's like the rule for the one-off shows for our tour that may or may not be coming up. One of the rules that we've talked about is essentially making it a completely dry tour, at least for our band. Just because, for one, I don't ever want there to be a scenario where, let's say the bartender had a heavy pour and then the person is driving home, like one of us or our equipment, like even a little over the limit. Because even if it's just getting pulled over, it's just like tons of logistical issues. And also just like drinking on like back-to-back nights over and over. It's like not great for mental health, not great for physical health. And, if they're at a point where like they feel like they need it to get through the night, there's like lots of other things that like I'd want to do to try to help them through it first.
100%. That's cool. I respect that. Yeah, I feel like it's a good rule of thumb too to have. Is just as much as you can, keep it kind of like a sober thing. Good for you.
Yeah.
So do you have any guys in your band or girls in your band that strategize like the planning for this stuff? Is it all based on you? Like, are you able to share or elaborate whatever you want? Sure. And are able to like what each member does?
Yeah. So, for the most part, Reagan takes lead on like the musical composition side of things. For example, he wrote the entirety of the instrumentals for Phantom Hymn, which is our song that's coming out soon. He also wrote like all of the guitar parts for Pseudo Paramore after I essentially just like sent him videos of me like playing through the chords and like strumming while singing along. Because originally I just like wrote it with an acoustic guitar, and was kind of doing it in like a more indie style. And I accidentally picked up like the emo accent, like, let me know when you get sick of mine again.
Okay, definitely giving me old school Blink-182 vibes.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And
so essentially though, sorry to interrupt, but you wrote the foundation for the song?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was actually written before the band was like even a thing. And then essentially I handed it over to Reagan, and he like added a couple extensions on the chords. He wrote the solos, all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
And in a lot of the cases, like for both these songs and going forward, Quentin helps a lot with like the vocal harmony stuff. I feel like I'm good at coming up with melodies, but I'm just like so useless at like coming up with vocal harmonies a lot of times. It's like my brain just like stops working for that stuff.
Interesting.
And then we have Rick, who's a fairly new member. He joined in like January. And he's been starting to write like some of his own solos. Like, for example, we have a fully instrumental song called Stop Threatening to Break My Hands, which is like very much like a tech death-esque song. And it's essentially just like the guitarist like glazing themselves for 2 minutes.
Okay. Would you also say it's one of your heavier songs then?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So like, that's an example there. But he's essentially just been like starting to get his feet wet with like the compositional side of things. Outside of that, John Luke is one of our new members who joined in February. He's our drummer and has essentially just been like adapting a lot of our drum parts to like use more like double kick and stuff like that.
Nice.
And he's also been helpful with like finding things just like shows and like grants to apply to, stuff like that.
Nice.
And then we have a temporary bassist on right now, Fernando. And for the most part, it's just been a matter of him like learning songs for the next few shows before he's like outie. But it's just been like so fun working together. I think like with this group specifically, like we just have a really good time hanging out as friends. Even like we went to Dive Bar like last weekend for one of their goth nights, and we were just like shooting the shit and playing pool and stuff all night there. And I was gonna say dancing. I don't know if any of us can really dance.
Okay.
But
you guys attempt to.
we tried.
Okay.
Yeah, we were doing like the I don't know.
I was gonna say, can you describe to me what dance move that is?
How do I
Totally joking.
It's like if an alien was trying to imitate what human dancing looked like.
Okay. That's fair. That definitely seemed out of this world kind of moves.
Yeah. And, the worst part of it was I was, like, 100% sober for it.
Okay,
So,
yep.
like, I'm a lot better at... Well, I don't know if I'm better at dancing, but I feel like I'm better at dancing if I'm drunk.
Yeah. You just stop thinking, you let your body work.
Exactly.
Totally.
Like, do you know Evo, Evolution Lounge?
Downtown?
Yeah. At, like, the last night, their old location... was open. I had gone there and, just gotten, like, pretty white girl wasted out there. And I feel like that's the first time I've been able to actually think I'm dancing in front of people.
Okay, that's fair. I appreciate your honesty about it. That's cool, though. So so you still like to go out and have fun, have a little bit of drinks, but when it comes to your band, you take it very seriously.
Yeah.
Little to no drinking. And then you guys have a structure down, a dynamic. So I'm assuming then between it's Regan. Regan is the original member, and you guys do a lot of the foundation work and the structuring of the songs.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least like thus far, I feel like me and him have very much so been like the foundational basis of the band as a whole, even with like the other like original and like other like long-term members we had. We were always the ones essentially having to like herd the cats to do things. And I think something that feels a lot better with our current lineup is that it no longer feels like we're having to babysit and like constantly micromanage people to get things done. People just like know what they need to do and do it.
Okay.
But
it's important in a band aspect, you guys have a vision, you know what you want to do. Reagan, if that's the one I recall, was the guitar player, right?
Yes.
Very social.
Yeah. Kinda looks like the love child of like Kurt Cobain and Ellen DeGeneres.
Okay. Okay, interesting. It's an interesting way of putting it together. I think I recall who he was, but from what I've seen, you guys' performance was very good, and it's only going to get better if you have, like shows coming up and tours planned. That's cool. Good for
Absolutely.
you guys. So aside from a release and like tours and that, what else do you guys have in the works that you're able to talk about? Is there anything that you can think of?
So, we're going to be filming a new video, starting in April for our Phantom Hymn release. And we also just have some like more big budget music videos that we're planning out. So one example is for our song Sweet Chains and Chocolate. It's essentially like, it's not a long story. I just heard like essentially a fuck jam that my partner wrote a few years ago, and I was like, I've never written one of these. I'm gonna write one. So it's just like very inspired by like Bad Omens, Vanna, Issues.
Cool. There's one I recognize. Issues.
Yeah. And we were like doing all this research for like where we could film the music video type stuff, and since it has like some very big like kink aspects in it, I was originally looking at like seeing if we could rent like a BDSM dungeon to like film the music video in.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Any luck?
Not really. For like a lot of the reputable places, you have to go through like interviews and stuff even just to get in there, and also like it's just like a lot of work to get all that set up, and I don't know if they'd be comfortable with us like filming their space. And then I remembered, the Fantasyland Hotel exists, so we can just like film something there. I don't think they're gonna bat an eye of people bringing camera equipment in, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, totally.
And they just have like that really cool like gothic themed room now that has like sex furniture in it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. It's been a minute since I've been there, but that's cool. So I definitely remember they had themed rooms, but that's cool. So you guys got spots and locations in mind that you want to use for shooting videos and such.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And even for like things like Opium of the Radicalized, we're planning on like driving out to Drumheller and just like hiking out into the middle of the desert with our equipment, and then just like filming ourselves like playing through the song there, almost similar to like the Famous Last Words video from MyChem.
Yeah, cool. And so are all these songs structured around things that are important and value to you? Like, obviously some of them are things that have occurred to you, but you did all the lyrical content for it?
Yeah, I write the majority, if not all, of the lyrics for all our songs. We do have like quite an array of themes within our songs.
It's not just one set theme that you're writing about. It's like a bunch of different things.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So like with Pseudo Paramore, for example, it's essentially just like a very like emo style of lyrics about like, you know, a girl that I was in love with who I thought also wanted to be with me, who then just kind of like ghosted me when things got serious and we were talking about like moving in together and stuff. And then for Phantom Hymn, it's about having like attachment issues and just like kind of feeling like you're chasing ghosts whenever your partner like isn't around for one reason or another. For Opium, it's about like, you know, the religion and conservatism type stuff. Sweet Chains and Chocolate, like I said, is just like, you know, sexy, like fun song. We have a song called Cunt Seated.
Okay.
And that's essentially just a song about like this chick I got like really pissed off at. I just was like essentially venting into like my notes app, and then I was like, I could turn this into a song.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And yeah, then we have some that are like yet to be announced, like one called Hematolagnia, which is one I wrote as like a character song. It's essentially about a chick that like brings guys home from like bars or clubs, and has like this really big like blood fetish. So like when she's riding them, she'll just like start stabbing them and then like drinking the blood out of their chest. Jesus. And a lot of that was just inspired by like reading Dracula and stuff, and like all the imagery of like, you know, him like putting like, I think her name was like Lucy, Lucy's face up to like a slit across his chest to like turn her into a vampire and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dark.
Yeah, it definitely has like funny lines in it. It's not like out or anything yet, but like there's a line in there that's like, his chest is my sippy cup and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah, I do appreciate you sharing what you're wanting to and share about it. I know when it comes to unreleased music, it's always kind of touch and go, but I was just curious more so rather if you had like a set topic that you were just like writing around, or it sounds like it's kind of all over the place, but a common theme of just like things that are important to you or things that you've thought about, or, you know, everything that ties into that more so. So
yeah,
neat.
I'd say like the biggest themes of like all the music is essentially just like female empowerment for a lot of it, because I just really think it's something that's like missing in like the post-hardcore scene especially.
Fair enough.
Even when I was working on Pseudo Paramore, I was like, have I ever heard like a sapphic pop punk song? And I just like couldn't think of one.
Yeah. Yeah, when I think of, well, I listen to a lot of metalcore, so like that band over there, like Dying Wish, that's female fronted, and it's one of my favorite bands of all time.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, there's definitely like a market for it, you know, like from what I recall of seeing you guys, it seemed like you had a lot of clean stuff, but then there was a little bit of screaming, so in my mind, I picture post-hardcore when I think of your band, but hearing that, you know, you got is it tech death?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the elements of that going to be incorporated around the album and other songs around it. that theme, that genre is pretty cool too. So
Yeah,
I'm excited to hear it and see
absolutely.
it.
I think a big reason for that is Reagan, especially, as well as our drummer John Luke, are really into necrophagists. If you know them,
Okay, yep. I heard
so
of
gonna be very inspired by like that kind of stuff.
that. Nice. Are all these members too? Because they're not. Some of these names aren't ones that I recognize from the last show I seen you play. But are they like the members that are now? Are they all? Do they know one another, sort of deal? Is that how you were able to bring them on board? Did you seek out help from someone else, or?
So with Rick, he just responded to an ad that we put online looking for a rhythm guitarist.
Gotcha.
And he like came in to audition and just like really wowed us with his technical skills, and he was essentially just in from that point on. And then with John Luke, who's our drummer, and Fernando, who's our temporary bassist, they're both former members of the Stonehearts, who are unfortunately no more.
Right. Okay.
And we had just like played a few shows with them, and also for a little while, Fernando had been taking guitar lessons with me because I also like teach music stuff. So I knew him from like kind of both of those things, and I just kind of knew John Luke as just being like one of the kindest people I had ever met in the scene. Like he was just so incredibly like supportive and passionate about like all the shows I had ever seen him at, and like all the bands and everything. And he's just like so generous and kind.
Nice. It's nice to have that element too in your band, you know.
Yeah.
Someone, because all you guys seem so super kind and nice. So, you know, to have more of that is more empowering to you, I'm sure. But I just got a personal question for you. Is purple like your vibe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I even remember seeing, there's a cool photo I got of you where it's kind of like a blue and purplish background. And then after I checked out, I think it was a show you just did, the logo for your band was kind of like purplish and black.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's got to be a theme here or something, or she just really likes purple.
Yeah, our band colors are black and purple.
Okay.
So essentially, like, whenever we're on stage, you're essentially only going to see the members wearing black and purple.
Nice.
Just to have, like, a bit more of a cohesive theme.
Totally.
You know, we had a couple trips to, like, Lewis Mayhem and Nightshade Corsets and stuff.
Sweet shout out.
Yeah.
Nice.
And yeah, it's just been like so fun kind of getting to like create that image. I'm still trying to convince Reagan to wear like eyeliner and stuff, but you know,
yeah.
we'll get there someday.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a sight to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, my drums are black and then my cymbals are purple. So as soon as I seen like the like I said, the band logo, I was like, yo, that's a vibe. I definitely like black and purple too. That's a cool color scheme, and it's cool to tie it together within like the elements of your band too, because like, you know, you got a message within your music, so then to have like a element of like kind of cool colors, I don't know, it's it fits together and ties together well. So aside from that music part of your life, you said you don't really do the solo stuff anymore. Do you have anything else on the side that you do?
Honestly, I never really feel like I have time for much. I'm like a full-time university student, and I also work 3 days a week, so it's essentially like every day that I'm not working or at school, I'm doing work for the band, whether it's like doing bookings for shows or like designing new merchandise, like balancing like the books and accounting side of things. Soon it's going to be like also applying for like grants and stuff for like the music video type stuff. But when I do have like spare moments, I'm really into doing like crochet stuff.
Oh, cool.
And just like playing Minecraft and The Sims, and lately I've gotten into Binding of Isaac, if you know that game.
I don't know that game. No.
It's
I recognize
really fun.
The Sims, but I didn't recognize that name. Must be newer.
Yeah. But I think moving forward, I am probably going to start doing a lot more like freelance type work. I'm doing some work with film scoring right now, under the guidance of John McMillan. He's worked on like Marvel movies, Assassin's Creed, stuff like that.
Whoa. Nice.
So just like really getting to learn from him, and also getting his guidance even in terms of like mixing for Bad Over Worse. Like I have a session with him like next week to work on Phantom Hymn and stuff.
Nice.
It's just been like very helpful with like opening up that kind of like world of things. And I think it'd be super cool to almost do stuff like what Trent Reznor does and do like the occasional like movie soundtrack type thing if I ever get the opportunity.
100%. Nice. Is this somebody that you've known to or met through the university?
Met through university.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a professor there. So I switched from composition to songwriting so I could work with him. And right now I'm taking some like songwriting stuff and film scoring with him. And then next year when I do my capstone, it's essentially developing an entire like album or EP kind of with him to just like give guidance on all that kind of stuff.
Nice. So the band name, who came up with the band name and why that name?
So this is really funny actually. We were in kind of this like study room type thing. In the room is me, Reagan, Quentin, and I think Shane. And we're just like spitballing names. Like, I think like one of the ones we were thinking of was like Paranoid Astronaut. Like, there were like a few different ones. And then Reagan suggests Bad Over Worse. And there's just something about it that just like intrigues all of us. And I'm like, where did you get that?
Did you like it right away?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we asked him like, where did that come from? And he says he was watching 90 Day Fiancé with his mom.
Okay, nice.
And sometimes the subtitles on that show have like really weird translations for things. So I think he was watching a season with like a woman from Brazil, and when they were translating the Portuguese, they had her saying like, I'd rather take the bad over the worse or something, and he just like wrote down bad over worse because he thought it was funny. Because, you know, as I'm sure you do as well, we just like keep a list of like names for like songs or like ideas for stuff like that.
100%.
And it just really stuck more than like anything else we came up with. And also it's just like, I think really funny to kind of like market ourselves in that way, because even like to promote shows before, we've said things like, you may have heard bad music, but get ready to hear worse music with bad over worse.
Okay, nice. I like that.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah. So we just like try not to take ourselves like too seriously,
Totally.
at least in public like settings. And then like, you know, behind closed doors, like we have like business meetings once a week. And, you know, like I said before with like the drinking type stuff, I view it very much so as like, even though it's fun and it's what I love to do, this is also my job, and I need to like take it seriously and not fuck around like it's a karaoke night.
Yeah, fair. I mean, to each that wants to do it like that, that's cool, but having a goal, and it sounds like it's pretty common with all your members now, like you guys want to be doing this, there's a dream at it sort of deal, so that's cool, that's neat, and I think I'm only going to encourage you to keep doing it, you know. I want the music scene in Edmonton is so powerful. Yeah, in ways it can seem a little bit divided, but I feel like deep down at all of our cores, we do want us all to have success in our own little ways, you know. And you know, even if for you guys it's releasing music and touring, like that's cool, you know. Like that's but if you have aspirations beyond that, like just keep going at it, because it sounds like you got the right people in your corner, the right people to learn from like university and that. And then, you know, if you're planning releases and you're promoting it well, who knows, you know, the future is so bright if you know, you work together and, you know, really have a good foundation down. So it seems like you do, so that's cool.
I really hope so. Even just like with Warped Tour now being back, like,
I heard, yeah,
it would be so incredible to like get to play Warped Tour someday, even if we're just one of the like Battle of the Bands type submissions.
Yeah, that's still cool.
Yeah,
still be like, I was on Battle of the Bands for, you know, Warped Tour.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or even like, for example, if we got invited to tour with like someone local, like Calling All Captains, that would be incredible, because I've been following their band since I was like 13.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
They're definitely one of the bigger names in Edmonton, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
So.
And they're also just such kind people. Every time I've like talked to them, they've been like so great.
That's good. Is your guys' goal then to get to that point of like getting to a record label and that? I'm assuming that's probably the case.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
we've definitely looked into things like how does one get signed to someone like Sumerian, for example.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's just one of those labels that very much so like suits our genre. But we're definitely not like at that level just yet. We're also in the talks with someone that we know, at least for myself and Regan, with going in on opening a record label and recording studio with them.
Whoa.
So me and Regan would be on like the marketing and kind of like, you know, kind of outreach side of things of like signing people, and then the person who kind of wants to bring us in on this is a recording and production guy who's also teaming up with like a bunch of other recording and production people who would do the actual like recording stuff.
That's cool.
But yeah, essentially like I've known him since like first year university. We accidentally have matching tattoos.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What's the tattoo?
I have one on my wrist here. It's just like the treble clef and bass clef heart thing.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
And yeah, I posted it on Instagram one day, and he was like, I have the same tattoo. And it was like on his chest or something. But yeah, I've known him for a long time. He's a really fun guy. I've been like very competitive with him in like a fun way, because he's just like an incredibly talented performer as well. Yeah, I'm very excited to work with him going forward if like the record label stuff does pan out.
Nice. Yeah, it looked like Reagan really was good with matching and talking to people that like to be doing things. Because I remember at the show, he was speaking to my buddy Robbie, which was the bass player for Dion Gabriel, and we go back. We were in a band together called Castles, and Robbie's just awesome. Like, he likes to get out there. He's got his own thing that he does with his partner, and they do like filming at events and that. And I don't know if that's something you guys could get into or touch base with them on, but yeah, I feel like just getting that content out there, anything that you push for, it's just going to be worthwhile for you, because it's just getting your name, you know, the exposure part of it, especially on social media, because it seems like everything nowadays is just leaning towards that. You know, it's not like getting your name in a paper anymore. It's more of like, did your song blow up on TikTok? No, maybe. But yeah, it seems like I said, if you guys are all united and you want to put your heads towards the common goal, that's good. You know, I'm only going to encourage that. So
Yeah.
If there's anything else you want to touch base on, we are getting pretty close to wraps here, but yeah. Something I was going to ask you, it kind of backpedals a little bit here, but your touring experience, have you toured before?
No, never.
No? So the one coming up will be your first.
Yeah, and I've also just been organizing all of it by myself.
Whoa. It's a lot of work.
With 5 bands.
All on the same show every night, or like 5 bands within the spread of?
So we have 2 other bands that are going to be doing the full tour with us. We have one band that's going to be for the northern leg, one band that's going to be for the southern leg, and then also now we're kind of like overlapping one show to coincide with another band's tour. So it's going to be like a lot of bands all on one night, so that like our tours kind of like overlap at this place.
Nice.
So it's been like a really big learning curve for me to like kind of learn how to do all of that stuff, but I think it also just like makes me feel like helpful a lot, because like even, you know, within the scenes sometimes like you can kind of tell that like people that I'm like trying to work with just like don't want to talk to me because they're like, oh, it's just the lead singer or whatever. Like,
do you get that vibe from people? Yeah.
Especially with like sound guys, I will have like, you know, sent them all of the details for our load in and everything, and I'll go to talk to them and they'll just like walk right past me and start talking to Reagan.
Whoa.
So yeah, it's like not fun. So like I feel like kind of being more in control of that aspect of things kind of gives me a lot more of a platform to kind of like talk back to people who treat me and other like women in the scene that way. And apparently it's a really common thing. In one of our classes, they were saying that like 97% of women in like the audio technical fields have experienced like workplace harassment or discrimination. I might be off on the numbers a little bit, but it was like a very shocking number. And then, you know, they had kind of like asked like if anyone in the room had like experiences they wanted to share about it, they could. And pretty much every single person in that class had a story. Even with the professor doing the talk, one of their close like colleagues had been working in a recording studio. And you know how like within audio production, like you'll want a bit of like headroom on a track. Essentially the men that she was working with were like, oh yeah, we love working with this person because she gives great head and stuff.
Whoa.
So
Bruh.
yeah.
Yikes. Well, yeah, I feel like you probably learned about that aspect too, is like the sexual part of the industry is very like, yeah, it can be a very dark and shitty thing.
Yeah.
But it seems, like I said, you guys like want to be doing it for the right reasons. So yeah, well, let's keep at her. Of the audio production, do you know quite a bit of it yourself anyways, like for tracking and recording and even putting a sound out?
Yeah, I do all of the recording stuff for us.
Nice.
And usually I like fully produce my own vocals. I'm not like super comfortable at producing like drums, especially for acoustic drums. So for our last track, we did hire someone to like mix and master it to like get it to where it is.
You guys track acoustic drums over electric, yeah?
Just acoustic drums.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
But yeah, then like going forward, I'm hoping to do all the like mixing type stuff, like essentially just being like me and Quentin, and then just like sending it off to someone who's like better at it than I am to master.
Gotcha.
Just to like have a lot more control over the sound of things, and also just like keep things as like in-house as possible.
Totally. DIY, let's go.
Yeah. And I also just find it really fun to like have the time and space to like control all that stuff. I've essentially turned like the like office space in my apartment into like a little like makeshift studio with like, you know, a MIDI keyboard on one wall and like 6 different guitars in a corner. Nice. And like a big like L-shaped desk with like my interface and microphones and that kind of stuff to like work with.
Nice.
And then, you know, when it comes to recording, instead of having to book studio time for a lot of stuff, it's just like being like, hey dude, can you come over from this time to this time on Saturday? And, you know, when we're done, we can just like hang out. And we can do as many takes as we want. We have like full control over how things turn out, for better or for worse. And I can, you know, do like 50,000 vocal takes without like feeling someone looking over my shoulder.
Totally. Time and money.
Exactly.
You know.
And it's also just like so embarrassing to be like, can I run this word 5 more times?
Yeah, I find it funny that you asked about the swearing thing. It's been so long since I last done this, but I've had people say that prior to the show starting, and I'm always like, yeah, you can swear. I think there's only one swear that I like kind of block out. I'll share it with you after, but just because like I feel like there's some hard words out there that just should be like kind of you don't say that. Let
me just run through them quick and I'll see which one you bleep and post.
Okay, yeah. That's hilarious. Please don't do that. I like editing after. I'm like, fuck, I gotta crop this one part out. No, that's awesome. It's been awesome sharing a moment with you. If there's anything else that you want to plug or, you know, pluck away at, you know, feel free to now. Now's a good opportunity to do so.
Okay, cool. So we are at Bad Over Worse on like essentially every platform, but the ones we're the most active on are going to be like Instagram and YouTube. You can find us practically anywhere though. We have a link tree. go watch the visualizer for Pseudo Paramore if you want to be all sad and stuff. And especially if you just got dumped by a bisexual woman. We're actually putting up posters around the city soon that say, like, have you been personally victimized by a bisexual baddie? And then it's just like a picture of me, like, passed out on the floor with, like, pills and tequila everywhere, just like the single cover. So if you find one of those around the city, you know, feel free to, like, take a selfie and tag us in it.
There you go. You guys should have a QR code on it where
we
it takes
do.
you to. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
yeah,
I can
smart.
show you when we're
100%,
done here.
100%.
But we just kind of wanted them to be, like, mysterious. Like, we don't actually say that it's a song or anything on the poster. We just want people to be like, what is this? And look it up.
Nice. Yeah.
But, yeah, I guess for whoever's watching, I hope to see you at shows and more than just ours. Go support, like, the really cool, just, like, scene in general that there is in Edmonton. And, yeah, I don't know. Be nice to girls.
There you go. There you have it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I do appreciate your time. And, yeah, there you have it, everybody. An hour at the house. Peace.